Welcome back to Everythingified. Yesterday I did my SEC predictions. Today we're doing the Big Ten. The Big Ten, I do not know more than the SEC about, obviously. But they are the best conference in college football. Everyone knows it. So here's the schedule predictions. The only team that plays Week 0 is USC. And USC is going to be pretty good. Riley's a good coach. Oh my gosh. I can nothing about USC right now. They will be very good. They will be very good. They beat San Jose State. Okay, Minnesota. I don't know much about Minnesota. They beat Eastern Illinois. Rutgers will not be very good. But they have someone who's good though. I remember it's like receiver or something. But yeah, they're gonna be good. This UCLA team. It's weird. It'd be weird to see Nico Yamiaba for UCLA and their assistant who beat Penn State last year. But they're going to lose to Cal. And I can't say much about Cal, but just know they're going to be very good. Nebraska, Ohio is a Nebraska win. Nebraska, Matt Rhule's good coach. They should have a good year. Anyways. Marshall, Penn State. Penn State should have a bit of a year than they did last year. Matt Campbell is a great coach. They have, what's his name? They have Rocco Becht at Penn State. Matt Campbell should hopefully win some better games than Franklin did, though. Northwestern over South Dakota State. Actually could see an upset there. South Dakota State's pretty dang good, but Northwestern. Michigan is going to be very good in the Big Ten. I like Whittingham. I like Bryce Underwood a lot. I think he has a huge step up. He was the number one recruit in the country. I think he has a big step up this year. I think Michigan's going to be a force in the Big Ten. Ohio State, maybe the most loaded offense in college football and a top 5 defense in college football. They will be the best team for a long time. USC over Fresno State. We were doing USC earlier. Oregon has Dante Moore back, and they lose their 2 best running backs, but it's a Dan Lanning team. They'll be very good. Boise's a pretty good team too, but this game's at Oregon. No chance. The Illini. Head coach, I think it's Bielema. They will be very good. They've been good the last few years. That's going to roll. They have a pretty simple Big Ten schedule usually. They beat UAB. Washington, also going to be pretty good. This year, they got Fish? Is their coach? Yeah, Jedd Fisch. Washington hasn't had a super great year since the Penix year, but they will be good. They were good last year, and they probably take a step up. Iowa. It's going to be a pretty. They still have Gronkowski. They might. They'll be good. It's for Iowa. Michigan State over Toledo. This could be an upset, though. You never know. Michigan State. Yeah, Fitzgerald. First year head coach. I don't know. Purdue beats Indiana State. They'll be the worst team in the Big Ten. All I gotta say. Maryland also won't be very good. They're playing Howard. Indiana is going to be a weird team this year. Most of their team is gone from last year. But they had the best portal class in the country. Can Curt Cignetti build a team full of chemistry like he did last year, again this year for Indiana? Time will tell. Josh Hoover will be better than Mendoza? Probably not, but you never know. And Notre Dame over Wisconsin. We'll get to Notre Dame, I think, during the ACC video. They beat Wisconsin. Okay, week 2. First up, this might be an upset pick to some. Boston College over Rutgers. There you go. Wake Forest, Purdue is a Wake Forest win. Purdue is bad. Indiana, Washington, Wisconsin, Duke, Illinois, Illinois win. Penn State, they play at Temple. That's fun. USC, and we get to this Oregon-Oklahoma State game, which is probably, at the time, going to be the biggest upset of the college football year. This game's in Stillwater. Give me the Cowboys. High scoring, close game. I can't say much about Oklahoma State. That'll be the Big 12 video, which should be like 2 days from now, the 3rd. Yeah, I can't say much about them right now, so I won't. But just know they're going to be pretty dang good. Nebraska over Bowling Green. This is a weird game. This is going to be a weird Iowa State team. We'll talk about them. Big 12 video. Iowa wins. It's at home. Maryland over UConn. September, Maryland is the best team in the country. Yeah, UCLA beat San Diego State at home and Michigan State. I've already talked about these 3 games. Mississippi State or Minnesota. Oklahoma, I think, is the top 5 team in the country. And then Ohio State over Texas. I mean, the Buckeyes are going to be very good. Iowa, USC at Rutgers, Oregon, Penn State, Notre Dame. It's just your easy ones here. It's just basically cupcake week. Illinois, Washington, Nebraska, Michigan. This is a game I think Virginia Tech goes to Maryland, knocks them off. Indiana, Wisconsin. This is going to be a weird game. Just 2 bad teams. I do think that Northwestern loses this game. Northwestern is going to be bad. Minnesota over Akron. Ohio State. This game might be 80-0. Then, yeah, give me UCLA at home against Purdue. Week 4, Notre Dame, Purdue. Obvious one there. Indiana over Northwestern. Talker there. Nebraska at Michigan State. It's going to be a huge win for the Cornhuskers. The biggest game in the Big Ten up to this point is Oregon at USC. This is a game Oregon, after losing early to Oklahoma State, bounced back and beat a Lincoln Riley USC team in like a pretty easy win too, like a 40-20 kind of game for Oregon. 41-24. Write it down, remember it. 41-24. Written all over it. Wisconsin, Penn State is a Penn State win. It's at Penn State. It's going to be tough. Michigan, Iowa is a weird game. I do think Michigan wins this game. It's in Ann Arbor. UCLA, Maryland is a game that Maryland wins. It's going to be probably the biggest win of the season over a pretty decent UCLA team. Once again, September, Maryland can't be beat. Ohio State and Illinois is going to be fun, but it's game's at Ohio State. So there we go. Washington, Minnesota, Rutgers over friggin' Howard. Okay, week 5. Penn State over Northwestern. This game won't be close. This game at Iowa might cause some problems early for Ohio State, and they're going to pull away at the end. This game's going to be a blowout. I'm talking like 56-14, Illinois. Nebraska. Game's at Nebraska. Go. Michigan over Minnesota. Another easy one there. Rutgers, Indiana is an Indiana win. A big Indiana win over a bad Rutgers team. World's easiest schedule for 6 weeks. That ramps up. Washington, USC. The difference is this is at USC. At the Rose Bowl, USC wins. Michigan State, Wisconsin. This game's a complete toss-up. You can pick whoever. It's the Luke Fickell experience that leads Michigan State to lose Wisconsin. Week 6 has Illinois beating Michigan State. This Penn State USC game, I think, will be very close. I'm going to skip it, just like I skipped the A&M LSU game yesterday. I'm going to skip the USC Penn State game for now. Purdue, Minnesota is a Minnesota win. Washington, Iowa. It's a tough schedule for Iowa. At Washington's tough game. Washington wins it. Northwestern over Ball State. Oregon over UCLA. Nebraska, Indiana. This game could actually cause some problems for Indiana. Don't be shocked if they're down in the second quarter, even the third quarter. But and they pull away late, win, and then Ohio State over Maryland. This game's like the big noon Fox game, and then it's blowout. Like that's what I'm feeling. All right, Maryland Rutgers game could also go either way. I think it's at Maryland. It's the difference. Nebraska at Oregon is tough for Nebraska. They lose. Washington over Purdue, 6-1 Huskies. Watch out. Ohio State, Indiana. Probably the biggest Big Ten game of the year. Ends in Ohio State storming into Bloomington and getting a win, and it's not going to be super close. Like 30 to 30, hold on, 28-17 final score. And who just scored a late touchdown to? Wisconsin, UCLA. At UCLA, that's the difference. Northwestern, Michigan State. Again, I think it's Michigan State's Pat Fitzgerald playing his first game against Northwestern. It's a win. Penn State at Michigan is tough. Huge win for Kyle Whittingham in Michigan as they beat Penn State at home. Week 8 is another tough game for Indiana. And it's going to actually be another loss. It's back-to-back for Michigan. Or for Indiana. Ohio State and then at Michigan back-to-back weeks. It's one of the roughest 2-week stretches in college football this year. And it ends in Whittingham getting the biggest win of his career so far at Michigan. Iowa, Minnesota. An Iowa win. USC, Wisconsin is a USC win. Michigan State, UCLA is a UCLA dub at UCLA. Rutgers, Northwestern is a Rutgers win. Oregon, Illinois. Another big win for the Oregon Ducks. Week 9. Indiana bounces back over Minnesota. Iowa beats Wisconsin pretty easily. This game's at Iowa. It's a difference. Oregon kills Northwestern. Michigan over Rutgers. Penn State over Purdue, easy. Washington, Nebraska is a tough game. It's a big win for Matt Rhule at Nebraska. UCLA playing Nevada, week 9. Of course, UCLA wins. Maryland, Illinois, Illinois win. There you go. And then Ohio State, USC. Another tough game for Ohio State is another win. Week 10 has Penn State, Washington. Absolute tough game. It ends Washington has this game at home. I think it is a win. The Huskies. Maryland, Purdue is a Maryland win. Purdue is going to be bad. Nebraska, Illinois is an Illinois win. UCLA, Minnesota. At Minnesota is the difference. They beat UCLA. Wisconsin, Rutgers. The Wisconsin win. Iowa, Nebraska, Iowa, Michigan, Michigan State, Michigan, and between Ohio State and Oregon. 2 of the top 4 teams in the Big Ten. Yeah, this game ends in a Ohio State win. It's at Ohio State. I think that's the difference. This game's at Oregon. I think Oregon might win this. But no. At Ohio State, that's the difference. Penn State over Minnesota. Washington to 8-2 over Michigan State. Nebraska over Rutgers. Ohio State, Northwestern. This game is huge for Indiana. They win it. This game puts them pretty down in the playoffs. I mean, they got... Actually, no, it doesn't. But that's the point. Indiana gets a huge win against USC. Iowa beats Purdue. Shocker, I know. Oregon, Michigan ends in Michigan's second loss of the year. Once again, I say it, it's the fact this game is at Oregon. That's the difference. UCLA, Illinois is a weird game. I think the Illini get upset by UCLA. And Wisconsin, Maryland. It's a big game for Maryland. They make a bowl game. Good job. Maryland. Wisconsin, Purdue is a Wisconsin win. Purdue is awful. Penn State over Rutgers. Easy one there. Nebraska, Ohio State. Of course, Ohio State wins it. UCLA, Michigan, and today a Michigan win. USC, Maryland ends in a USC win. Indiana, Washington, this is the biggest game of the year for both teams. The winner of this game, actually, that's not true. Washington needs this game to stay alive. They got to beat Indiana and then beat Oregon. Weeks, Indiana, this is their last hard game. If they win this, they're in the playoff. They get it. Huge win for Indiana. They are in the CFP. Oregon over Michigan State. Shocker, I know. Minnesota for Northwestern. And then Iowa, Illinois. The win, Illinois. Rivalry week. First up, it is Nebraska beating Iowa at Iowa to go 8-4 on the year. It is Michigan State Rutgers, which ends in a win for Rutgers to go 4-8. USC UCLA is a USC win, obviously. Come on. Washington, Oregon, and in Oregon getting the win and making the playoff at 10-2. Even with the loss to Oklahoma State, they're still in the playoff soundly. Illinois over Northwestern, they go 9-3. Good year for them. Indiana beats Purdue to officially clinch a playoff spot. Penn State beats Maryland, clinch another almost playoff spot. Wisconsin, Minnesota for a bowl game, and then Minnesota win in the rivalry, of course. And what it comes down to in the end, Michigan and Ohio State. Michigan and Ohio State, who's going to win the rivalry game? And this is actually Whittingham's biggest win as a coach so far. Not just at Michigan, as a head coach. When Michigan shocks everyone, beating Ohio State. Rivalry week. Even at Ohio State, I don't care. Michigan pulls it off, beats Ohio State. There you have it. We skipped one game. The USC Penn State game. And this is a Lincoln Riley USC victory to go 9-3. Penn State, is not making the playoff this year. Well, there you have it. Here are the standings for the Big Ten. The conference championship is Oregon, Ohio State. Ohio State bounces back, wins by 15, 20 plus, beats Oregon to make the playoff. Today I put the first 4 teams in. Now let's do 4 more real quick. Seed 5, of course, Ohio State. Seed 6, of course, Oregon. Seed 7, of course, being Michigan. Ann Arbor. And seed 8 being Bloomington. And because I want this to be longer, let's do Notre Dame predictions. Full schedule. This is going to be obvious. Notre Dame beats Rice. They beat North Carolina. They beat Stanford. They get their biggest win of the year, beating Miami. They beat Navy. They beat Boston College. They beat SMU. They beat Syracuse. And, spoiler alert for the ACC video, Miami beats Notre Dame. That'll be tomorrow. I'll do ACC. Miami beats Notre Dame. There could be some spoilers. And Notre Dame will be in the playoff. I have to actually find them. Hold on. We don't have 9 of the playoff teams. We're missing 3. One of those group of 5. It's the Big 12 Conference Champion. It's the ACC Conference Champion. You might already know who that is. And that's the video. Everything fied. Peace out.